Why don't we get started? I am going to now finally turn to the rest of you all in the audience. Hi, my name is Masha. I am the con chair, and welcome to CrossingsCon Slipping Sideways.
Yay!
Yay! This is where we would all clap, except digital space.
No, I see.
Anyway.
There's icons, emojis of clapping.
Oh, there's icons! Oh,
There are.
Oh, I'm thrilled.
Oh, this is even better than I thought.
Hey, it's the future, right?
It is the future. It is the future. We're actually... It wasn't the con that I think we were all expecting to be able to put on this year.
Yeah.
However, we're really excited about it because there are a lot of things that we got to do this year that wouldn't have been possible if we had the convention in Montreal. First and foremost, for 3 conventions now, all of our attendees have been saying, you should put the convention in space. You should put the convention in space. I am delighted to announce we put the convention in cyberspace. Yeah. We put the convention in space.
Close enough for jazz.
Mm-hmm. We also have all of our lovely guests. We actually got to invite way more of you than we usually are able to, and so it's really exciting to see so many new faces here. And I know that you all have been having a lovely time with the chicken anecdotes, but I'm going to give you all a moment here to introduce yourselves, if you don't mind. Why don't we start with Diane and go from left to right?
For God's sake, it's always me first, isn't it? Right. I appear to be Diane Duane. How do we check? Okay, bracelet. Yeah, Hermes scarf. Yes, that looks. Yeah, Swiss railway watch. Yeah. I am in fact, by all available evidence, Diane Duane. Wait, there's one thing I can check. Han? Yeah. And Peter Mullard is in the next room. So yes, I am indeed Diane Duane. Hi.
It's all making me think it would be very easy to impersonate you. I just have to take your clothes.
Well, there might be a few other things you need to remove as well. God, I'm sorry.
You're off to an excellent
I'm a terrible person. I woke up this morning in truly innuendo-ish mood, and then my brain betrayed me in other ways we won't even get into, and now I have to rewrite half of a novel. It's like, gee, thanks for that. But yeah, here I am, a freelance novelist for a long time now, and proprietor of a couple of universes that continue to surprise me at every turn. If there's a message, it is, just wait till your 3rd decade. Let alone your 4th. I mean, if there's a flag I need to bear for people to see, it is, do not imagine that being new as a writer is the only thing there is. Being, let's use a kindly word, mature as a writer in a creative space where every hot thing is new, young, and flashy, it has its challenges, but it also has certain advantages that you can exploit. Your mission, whether you choose to accept it or not, is to figure out how to exploit those and still be creative in a way that resounds for you. That's the space I'm holding right now. All the other spaces I leave till y'all.
Okay, if we're going left to right, I guess that's me. Hi, everybody. I'm Ursula Vernon, also known as T. Kingfisher when I'm writing for adults. And I write stuff, books, comics, more stuff. My husband keeps chickens and I comment on them. I live on Twitter, and I have nothing nearly as insightful to say as Diane. I write books. Sometimes people read them. It's always amazing. I am here in virtual space at CrossingsCon. And hi.
And we're thrilled to have you. Thank you.
Oh, I'm next, huh?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm Jessica Day George, and I'm an author. I just had my 16th book came out last year at the height of lockdown when there was not a library or a bookstore open. It was really great. So let me hold this up to the camera because please go see if you can find this book. It's my baby. But all my books are fantasy. Some are middle grade, some are young adult. The only thing that's really consistent is the fact that I talk about dragons at least once in every book. It's my thing. I don't know if you can see behind me at all. They're kind of scattered, but I've been collecting dragons since I was 4 years old. So my whole office is full of giant dragon stuffed animals and tiny figurines and stuff like that. So I talk about dragons in every book. It's what I do. So and I don't have chickens, but I do have a dog at my feet that my niece who was here last night, who had never seen a dog before, she's 2, she thinks it's a sheep. So my little 15-pound white dog, my niece Genevieve, ran through the house last night going, a sheep, and touching her like with these reverent hands, like, ah, and then yelling to everyone, a sheep. So Sunny impersonated a sheep last night, and
you know, my tenant farmer offered to bring a sheep for the con for me. It was like, it'll be great. You just hold a sheep during the panels, and I'm like, I don't want a sheep.
Baby
or goats.
Come on.
Yeah.
Chicken? Are we going to see the chickens?
I don't usually bring them in the house because once you have chickens in the house, you've crossed a moral line. And they do make diapers for chickens if you want a house chicken, but I feel that's
Another moral line.
Then you've become a person with house.
That's when
I
you
think,
draw.
I think
That's where
they're
you draw the
happier
line.
with their own place, really.
Well, who isn't really? I mean, you know.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Okay.
Next is CB Lee.
Hi, everyone. I'm so excited to be here. This is my first decade as an author.
Yay!
And
Congratulations!
thank you. I've met Megan at another conference, but this is my first time meeting all of you, and I'm like so excited because I've read your works, and I'm like, but I'm the author of the Sidekick Squad series, which is about a group of queer teens taking on a corrupt superhero agency, and also I have a novel coming out this year in September, which is a sapphic retelling of Treasure Island set in Southeast Asia, and that will be out September 7th, called A Clash of Steel. I've written a number of things, and I'm excited to be here and hang out and share with all of you, and yeah, spend time in the crossings.
Absolutely.
Welcome.
So,
All
am I
right.
next?
Yes, you are.
I am next. Okay. So, I am Megan Whalen Turner. Like Diane, I have been around the block a few times. And like Jessica, my book did come out in the pandemic in October, and I wrote my first book, and it was published in 1995. It was a collection of short stories, and my first novel was which was published in 1996. And this most recent book, Return of the Thief, is the end of that narrative arc and the 6th book in that series, which means I don't have 16 books like Jessica. I have 7.
And that's okay.
So I've been going around the block much more slowly than other people, but I'm really so excited to be here and to meet those of you I have not met before, and to say how much I really love all of your books and how excited I am. The fangirl squeeing to a decorous minimum. but it's really, I'm delighted to be here, and this is the thinnest of silver linings for me, that I don't know that I would have made it if it weren't a virtual conference. as much as I would have wanted to. I don't know that I'd be here. So, hello, everybody.
Hello. And that's actually definitely something we've been hearing quite a bit, both from all of you, from actually a couple of our staff, and from a lot of attendees as well, is that there are a lot of people who thought they couldn't make it this year, and who are actually able to join us. And that's really something wonderful, even if it is, as you say, the thinnest of silver linings. And actually, speaking of not making it to opening ceremonies, we are also going to be joined later this week by Kat Valenti, who has quite a few books of her own, although I'm not quite sure what other witty anecdotes she would provide. I'm not going to try. But we will be seeing her later this week when she's not traveling. And so that'll be really exciting as well.
Absolutely.
I am, let's see. I'm going to now talk about the staff. So we have all been working really, really hard this year to put this together. We have planned this particular convention, like this particular 2021 convention, I think 3 times now. And so it's really nice that it's finally here. And I'm going to have all of us come up and introduce ourselves in just a moment. But first, I wanted to mention to all of you, our guests of honor and our attendees, the way that you can tell that someone is a staff member is if we have a hashtag in front of our name. That is a staff member. That is someone who has worked really hard to make this possible, but that's also someone that you can walk up to if you need help with gather, with, where is the schedule? Where do I
find ducklings?
Where do I find ducklings? Where do I find some of the other Easter eggs? Where do I find my panel? And we're all happy. We're all happy to help with that. And so, as I mentioned, I am Masha, the con chair. I use they, them pronouns, and I'm going to let everybody else come up and introduce themselves now. I will yield the heck.
It wouldn't let me walk. That was so rude. Hello, everyone. My name is Sarah. I use she, her, and I am one of the guest liaisons. I have been emailing back and forth with everyone up on stage all summer, and it's so lovely to see your faces. I also work on the Linguistics After Dark podcast, which we're having a live show this week as one of the events here. You should come to it. Yeah, okay.
And there's my camera. Good. Hey everyone, I'm Jenny. I'll be other guest liaison. I also help with Linguistics After Dark, and I'll be on the Conlings panel on Friday. She, her, or they, them pronouns.
Hello, I'm Kayla. She, her, they, them. I am one of the PR people. I'm really excited to be here and to get to do this year. And I'm glad that it's happening.
Sorry, I swear I unmuted, and apparently I did not do it effectively enough. So hi, I'm Emma. I'm the head of the events team, and yeah, I'm also very excited to be here with all of you. We've got so much really fun stuff planned. And yeah, if you have any questions about scheduling or events, like Masha said, you can contact any of us, but especially if someone's on the events team, that'll be noted in our little descriptions, and we've got lots of support for all of you. And I will do a longer spiel later with some more important information to know. So see you all later.
Okay, hello, I'm Claudia. She or they, either is fine. I'm also on the events team with Emma and also Sonia, who is not currently here in Meet Space or in digital space, but I'm sure you'll meet her later. I am so happy to be here with all of you beautiful people who I have just met, but whom I already love. And yeah, if you have any questions or if you need any help, or if you, I don't know, want to chat, I'm here to help and just have fun. Thank you.
Hi, I am Amy. I use she, her pronouns, and I am the graphic designer for the convention. I'm just really excited to meet you all and to be here. So yeah, let me know if you need anything.
Hi there, my name is Anuj. I use he, him, or they, them pronouns. Either one's fine. I'm the webmaster for the convention and also part of the PR team. So if there's any information that's not on the website that should be, or if there's any problems with the gather space, that's my domain. So feel free to ping me. And yeah, just happy that everyone's enjoying the gather space.
Hello, I am Six. I am a volunteer moderator on this team, and I am here to hopefully make everyone's convention a fun and safe one.
Alrighty, and we also have a few friends who are not able to make it right this minute. We have Bex, who is a Slack admin, who you may know as a Slack admin, and another guest moderator, Jake, who are going to be helping with moderation for some of the panels, and you can also go to them for help. And also Eli, who is our venue and reg person, is on an airplane. Sometimes we can still hear his voice. And actually, speaking of other people who helped make this convention possible, give me just 1 second. I have a list. I have a list here. And they changed the UI in Slack, so I can't find my list.
Hardware.
Mm-hmm. You know, it's the first day of the convention. Everyone gets to have a everyone gets to have hardware problems. You have a hardware problem. You get a hardware problem. Hopefully nobody else gets hardware problems. Yes, speaking of people who helped make this convention possible, especially this particular 2021 convention, we have a few very generous donors that I just wanted to take a moment to thank. And that is Amanda DeLand, Fiona Gardner, Anna, Sarah, and Carol, and Beth Epstein, who all were incredibly helpful in making this happen. Thank you so much for your support. And also to all of our patrons. We have a Patreon. And if you are a patron, you will know that we spend a lot of time on the Patreon talking about the Linguistics After Dark podcast. However, you are also supporting this wonderful convention in which you all sit, and we are very grateful, and thank you so much. All right, and I'm going to give the hex back to Emma to talk a little bit about some of the stuff we have coming up for this week.
Thanks, Masha, for all the introductions and running these things. Yeah, so we've got so much cool stuff coming this week. We have in the Gather sidebar, there's a tab for the calendar. And in that tab, you can see all of today's events. Currently, we have opening ceremonies. Right after this, we're going to have a game stream with our guests of honor. We're going to be playing some fun Jackbox games and a game called Bring Your Own Book. After that, we will also have informal games and hanging out time in the library, and then 2 more panels in the afternoon as well, visualizing alternate worlds, and a panel of travel stories. In every room, there should be a space to submit questions. So if you have questions for any of our guests or other panelists, all through there's one Google form that will be your resource for all of those things. And you can submit as many questions as you'd like. Just submit the form more than once so that we can track it more easily. And if you have trouble finding that form, let us know and we can direct you to it. But it should be pretty easily accessible in almost every room that we have here in the con space. Also, later in the week, we have unconventions, which is basically flipping the traditional formal panelist system on its head, and asks you if you have anything you would like to share with your fellow attendees or guests. So you can sign up for a slot that's half an hour or an hour long to talk about anything that you're passionate about. We've had people do kite flying demonstrations. We've had talks about tea and crafting and all different kinds of things. You can also set this up as like a hangout spot if you want to do a meetup for everyone who does fiber arts or who is a fan of a particular board game or video game or whatever. That way everyone knows about it. And then I believe it's Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. We've got a bunch of, hopefully we'll have a bunch of fun stuff from all of you to share as well. Let me consult my list one more time. Yeah, there's lots of fun stuff going on in Gather. So be sure to check out, there's lots of Easter eggs. As you've heard, I think already, there are cats and ducklings around. There are some things to read in the library, of course, because you can't have a library without books. And there will be other fun stuff that you find as you wander around, and some things that might be coming later in the week. So, you know, feel free to keep poking around, because you never know what might have changed between today and tomorrow. Speaking of other casual events, there is going to be an open mic night on Friday called CrossingsCon, if you'd like to prepare any music things. And I think that is it for me. So again, let us know if you've got any questions anytime coming up. And otherwise, I am so excited to share all of the fun events that we have planned.
Yay.
I do have I have like 3 last things that I want to call your guys' attention to, and then you can stop listening to me speak. So I would like to point everyone towards, if you're on desktop, in the bottom center of your screen, there is a little bar with your avatar and your name and status that you can modify. In an actual physical convention, we would have a fancy badge to give you. This is your badge. And so this is the place where you put like your name, a handle if you want, your pronouns, especially since Gather is based on proximity-based voice and video chat. If you are not comfortable using voice and video chat and you only want to be communicated with in text, or you only want to have conversations with people who you only want to have conversations that you start instead of having people walk up and talk to you. We don't have the color communication cards that we have had in the past by virtue of not having a badge to put them in. And so I would invite you to, or I would encourage you to put your preferences in that regard in your status. If you click on your name down there, there's also a quiet mode, and you can we're going to use that as an indicator that you don't want to have people start conversations with you randomly, and that will also shrink down the radius where you can hear people as they walk by, and so that will make it a little quieter for you if you find yourself getting overwhelmed. We also have specific spaces set aside in the main panel room, in the lobby, in the library, in the park, where if you want to have a conversation with your friends and you want it specifically to be text only, there are tables and benches and spaces labeled text only. And if you sit at those, that'll be a private space where you can't hear the voice and video of anyone walking by, and it is expected that everybody sitting at the table will use the text chat. The other Gather feature that I wanted to point at is if you walk back out of this main panel room and go all the way south towards the Avatar parking lot, if you want to leave the space, but you don't want to close the tab because you want to be able to find it again, I would leave your avatar down there, and that's just sort of a zone for you to be away from your keyboard in without having to log back in later. And then the last thing that I wanted to talk about really quickly is panel etiquette. Because you can't really control other people's volume around you, if you are in a panel, it is considered courtesy to, if you are in the audience, to mute your mic so that, you know, if you're reacting, you're not disturbing the people around you and making it hard to hear the panelists, because we don't have a way, you know, we can spotlight all of our guests of honor and all of our panelists, but we don't have a way to automatically make them louder than the audience. And so your neighbor in your chair and the panelists on the spotlight hexes are going to be the same volume. And so you want to mute yourself when you're in the audience of a panel so that everybody can hear properly. And then the last thing is the hexagons that I am standing on right now and that our guests of honor are standing on are the spotlight hexes that I was talking about. If you are not on a panel, do your level best not to step on them, because those are the things that broadcast your voice and video to the entire room. And so, but if you are on a panel, that's where you want to be so that people can hear you. And then, is there anything else that I wanted to mention? Yes.
I have two other kind of gather features to mention. But I can do that at the end if you have something else you want to.
No, you go ahead. Go ahead.
So two other things. If you press and hold down G, that is a ghost mode, and that will turn off your video and audio while you're holding it down, and also lets you move through other people. So if you get stuck and there's people all around you that you can't move through, you can hold down G to escape that confined area. which can be helpful if it gets crowded or if you're in a conversation and you need to move through people. The other thing is that if you right-click or two-finger click on a laptop, you can create a bubble with someone next to you, and that lowers the volume of your voice and video and the voice and video of the people who are not in your bubble, while keeping the people in the bubble at normal volume. So if you want to turn to someone, say during a panel, if you're in the audience, or if you're in a larger conversation and want to turn to someone and have a side conversation briefly, a bubble is a good way to do that. And you can do it with more than 2 people, but it's a little fiddly, so you might have to play with that a little bit. You can also, in the same zone, you can also, or same menu, you can follow people, but please use that, judiciously. Don't just follow random people around.
Judiciously and not without asking first.
Yes. But if someone wants to show you something, you can use it that way as well.
Mm-hmm.
So just some other tips to remember.
Oh, kitty. Sorry.
No, I'm sorry. The cat is bombing the panel.
All right. And then the last 2 things before I let you go is I know that we are all focusing on this convention this week. However, we are having a convention in 2022 in Montreal. And if that is something that you are already looking forward to, registration for that is already open. There will be an interactable link to that around the info desk, I believe, where you can go and buy a badge for next year's convention. We also have merch out there. Yes, it's a virtual convention, and we have merch. We are selling book plates that after the convention, really beautiful book plates designed by Amy, which we will send to our guests of honor, and they will sign them for you, and then we will send them out to you. And so you can register for next year. You can buy a book plate, and we also have a link to our Ko-fi page, our tip jar, if you want to help support the convention, and don't have anything in particular you want in return. And
Masha,
I think
is it the same hotel?
It is the same hotel.
Yay! Is the steakhouse still there?
I haven't checked, but I will ask our venue man as soon as he is off the plane.
Because it's worth saying, not just is it a super steakhouse as such. Their fish was pretty good too, and there was a decent spread of vegetarian alternatives. But in terms of a nice place to go and just step away from the business of the con, go down, have a glass of something, have some protein, get back upstairs again. That was a great place. And I collect good convention restaurants, so it's a thing.
Well, thank you. We will be sure to let them know.
Yeah.
Alrighty. I think that's everything that I have. Thank you again to our guests of honor for coming, and thank you again to our attendees for coming. Welcome to CrossingsCon.
Happy to be
here. Feel free to go around and explore the space. Buy some merch, and we'll see you back here in about 15 minutes for a game stream with our guests of honor.
Right.
Yay!
Yay!
Yay!